Hello again. My name is Charlie Belfontaine, and this time I'm going to be talking about Google local ads. Now, first things first, if you already listened to the getting leads and landing leads with Yelp, this is not going to be that much different. All right. We're going to have the same target audience. We're going to have the same tactic because we want to go ahead and focus on the why choose me. But quite frankly, a lot of people trust Google. And it turns out that it's pretty affordable if you make sure that you have your website optimized and everything's working smooth and quick. That does a lot with bringing down the cost. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. What do Google users want? And this is an important thing. All right. If somebody went on to Google and they started searching for a home inspector, we already know that they want to hire a home inspector. And one of my biggest pet peeves when I look at other people's websites, and you need to look at yours and see if you're doing this too. In our hero statement, we either talk about us or we end up talking about why it's important to get a home inspection. And they already know they're going to get one. So we don't have to, try and convince them to get one. We just need to convince them to choose you. And that's the real question is why should they choose you? So we know a few things have happened and we can see up on our list here. Most real estate agents, and I would say in our area, 80% of them, um, they're the ones that do all the referring to the home inspectors that are out there. All right. So, but you can go ahead and beat that. And that's what I'm trying to work on as well. Try to circumvent the real estate brokers. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want you just to discredit them like I do. That's my choice. If your choice is that you want to work with them, that's great. All I'm suggesting is open up your choices. All right. Don't just work with real estate agents. Try to go direct to consumer as well. All right. So why didn't they choose the real estate agent? The Our focus groups, what we found out was that a lot of people, read reviews and they read comments on social media where they think their real estate agent was dishonest. They think the home inspector was in cahoots with the real estate agent. Quite frankly, many of us are uneducated when it comes to building sciences and what we know, so we do a pretty poor job. And I'm talking about us as a profession as a whole. So do everything you can to overcome that. Recognize what the pain points are of your clients. And now we have to find out, what can I tell or what can I show? How do I prove that I am not one of those bad people? How can I prove that I am your best choice? And that you got to dig down deep in. All right. I'm more than happy to share what we did, and you're welcome to copy whatever you want to, but you're going to have to figure out what makes you unique. All right. Realize that they always check the reviews. Got to build those reviews up there. I'm a boomer. All right. I never got into this internet stuff until, I would say last 5, 10 years. And then it was explained to me how important these reviews were. And I even rolled my eyes at it. But then after I started putting them up there, and now I ask people, so why did you not go with the real estate agent? Why did you choose us? I know you had 10 other people that you were looking at. I could see that when they do the Yelp request and stuff. So I know that much. And I'm assuming they're doing the same thing here with Google. So why'd you choose us? And they came back and like, your reviews are outstanding. Nobody else has anything close to what people write about you. And I'm like, yeah, we really do try to go out of our way. That's the one inspection a day. That's the extra tools. That's a Zoom follow-up. Make the list. All right. And keep it as bullet points. You got to remember some people want to read and some people don't. All right. So we kind of need to cater to both groups. The ones that want to read, we want to give them all the details we can. The ones that don't really want to read, we want to give them the bullet points so they can get the gist of stuff. All right. So again, we want to focus on why they should choose us. That's going to be our key thing. The next thing is the speed. I stress this on the Yelp stuff, and I'm going to stress it again right here and now. You got to be fast when you're responding to these things. All right. And this is where you want to be prepared. So everybody's going to ask you the same thing. How much do you charge? What makes you unique? What's better? And they may not ask that, but they still want to know that stuff. All right. And you want to make sure that you're getting all of your unique selling points, your unique selling products, everything that makes you special. You want to make sure you get that entire list in front of them so that that gives you the best chance that they're going to choose you. All right. Now you are going to get follow-up questions. I get them too. People go, well, this person's charging that, can you match their price? I'll go with you if you do. I come out and say no, and I have it all pre-written. We know that there's people, that do a worse job than us. We know that there's people out there that don't carry insurance. We know that there's people out there that'll do 3, 4, some 5 inspections in a day. We know that there's people that exist out there that are going to limit what they do. And I'm going to tell my clients, I'm going to hit them with the pain point. Remember, that's why they went out searching, because they didn't trust the home inspectors. But now they trust you and they're just trying to get a cheaper price. Stand your ground. If you're worth it, then you should be able to bullet item list why you're worth it. And then I finished up. I understand if you were looking to save $100 or $50, whatever the price difference was. I get it, and I don't blame you. But our people are good, and they're very good. And I am not going to ask our inspectors to take a pay cut. And we really don't have that much of a markup that we have any more room to discount what we already do. So I'm sorry, but I cannot give a discount. And then I talk about the one discount that we do provide to everybody, and that's our photo upload. And we focus on, this is how confident I am in people, because we're encouraging you to leave a review. We're telling you that we're vulnerable. We're telling you how important this is to us. And if we did a bad job, this is going to be a real easy way for you to harm my entire company, including the 11 inspectors that work here. All right. And that I just can't have. We trust each and every one of these people to maintain our reputation, and they're good. And because of which I pay them well. So I'm going to throw up a few different slides. I do have to give a small confession. You could see the dates up here, December 1st on the monthly charge. So I'm a human being. I make mistakes. All right. And this is one of the mistakes that I actually made. It'll show up on some other charts in a little bit. Our home inspector licenses here in Illinois expire November 30th. And I want to say somewhere around September, Google sent me an email that I completely forgot about, saying, hey, you got to update your license. And when you do, let us know so we can verify it. Otherwise, we're going to turn you off. Okay. And guess who didn't do that? Me. And then all of a sudden, December rolled around and business got really slow. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? We were solid. I had everything dialed in, and we just stayed busy. We kept the calendar filled. I could, raise the advertising up, lower, whatever it takes just to make sure that the calendar is full, right? But we weren't getting any Google requests. I mean, we were getting some, but they were coming from the organics, and they were not coming from our paid ads when we come with it. So you could see we actually ended up having a credit on this one. And I'm going to come back to this page in a little bit. I want to go to this page here first. All right. So you can see how I got a blank line from December 22nd, 29, January. I want to say it was somewhere around, they gave me a 2-week leeway. So it was somewhere around the first or second week in December when they actually turned off our ads. And you can see right there on that graph, nothing happened. And we get a lot of leads coming from this, and we're able to close those leads. So this was pretty harmful, to us. And until I figured out what the heck I did wrong, and I'm not blaming anyone else but me, and it stopped it. And then that started hurting our company quite a bit. So let's get back to the ads again. And this one here is where they're talking about where and how do you want your ads to show up. In other words, if somebody needs an electrical inspection, do you want to get that person's ad? Well, my answer is no, I don't. What about a fireplace? You do fireplace and chimney inspections, right? Yes, we do. But I don't want to do just a fireplace. Now, if I was going out there and, replacing or repairing the fireplaces, those are $5,000-$10,000 repairs. Well, that would be good to get. All right. But this is going to end up being a $250 inspection on our fees, coming in there, and it's just not worth the drive to go out there and do it. So I turn everything off except for the full-blown home inspection. So the buyers, sellers, and of course the commercial is bigger money, so we like to go after that. And then the full home inspections as well. And you can see everything else on here is turned off. And again, you do what you want to do, but I'm going after the percentages here. My goal is I'm going to be investing money, and I want to get return on that investment. I want to be able to get inspections. That's how I'm going to judge my return on investment. So that's how much I'm going to charge the investment that I'm putting into Google. So here our ad is up, our ad is running, and then you could see also the green dots on buyer, seller, commercial, and then the full home inspections, and everything else is turned off. We do get a lot of reviews coming from here. Another mistake that I made when I first started doing the Google My Business and getting the reviews and all that, our business was located in one of the suburbs of Illinois, and that is in Northbrook, Illinois. Well, Northbrook had a population of under 40,000 people that lived there. And although I could pay for the ads to get me marketing elsewhere, it didn't really give me the search engine optimization that I want for the main target of our business. So I ended up creating another website, and we actually opened up a separate office. And, we run them as two different locations and two different businesses, even though they are the same. So what I would suggest, if you're going to if you don't have a Google My Business yet, you're going to want to get that in probably the heaviest populated area where you think you're going to get the most amount of work. That's the location where you're going to want to focus in. And, we use Regis offices. You don't have to have anything fancy. You don't have to have a storefront. All you got to do is have a business location. All right. And as long as nowadays with the videos in there, as long as you could show that you can walk into the place and, you're going to be all, you're going to be able to show that you have access to it. This is your place of business. You got your business cards there. Then everything's going to be good and they'll let you do it. So you can lease or rent an office at another location. It does not necessarily have to be a storefront that comes in there. But our reviews, again, you want to focus on a way to get those reviews. All right. Now, a lot of people have used companies like Blip. There's a few other ones that can go ahead, but part of our automation system also encourages clients to leave reviews. And if you can build that automation to before, during, and after, and I can't tell you, when you do the verbal request and you plant the seed and let them know you're going to want to do this, and then you impress them enough to make them happy and you do the follow-up, they're going to leave the reviews. I would say we're probably about 60 to 70% of the people that use our services leave a review. And those reviews are spread out. We have 2 Yelp places, 2 Google places, 1 Facebook. We see people leaving them on Reddit, which is kind of a big deal for me. Nextdoor is starting to get some more. We haven't really put Zillow or any of the other ones, but I think every place that they do take reviews, it's probably a good idea to start building those up. And you want to keep them regular, all right? You could see here, it's actually kind of cracks me up a little bit. There's only 3 that came in a month ago for our reviews on this site. Well, again, that was because our ads went down, but neither here nor there. All that does is upset me. So again, there's our scale. That's how many leads we get. When we come in here, this is basically the whole list of leads and what we got charged for, what we got credited for. And I don't really, I don't dispute these things. at all, it turns out they actually do the disputing for me. So when somebody leaves a message on there, then and it doesn't pertain to what we do, they listen to these things. And I guess I kind of like that. And their goal, they want us to be successful far more than some of the other lead generating companies. I feel like when you go to Angie's and such, and I think a lot of people feel this way with Yelp too. They feel that those lead generation companies, they just want to get as much of my money and spend my money as fast as possible. And there might be some truth to that. Whereas I got to tell you, I get the warm fuzzy from Google because what I was spending, they save me $2,500 a month on my Yelp advertising just by switching over to doing the Googles. They replaced that much of it. So it's worth it. All right. So I'm going to go back to getting prepared. All right. And this is where you need to write stuff down. And I put it in, I use an iPhone, so we keep everything in notes. I keep it up on my Mac as well. And then in our system, it's in our automatic responder. All right. So if somebody calls us on the phone, the first thing that's going to happen is our phone tree kicks in. Our phone tree is going to give our clients three options. One, if you're searching for home inspectors, let me text it to you. We got everything in writing. It's going to answer all your questions and probably some that you didn't even think of. I would say 90% of the people that phone our business click on that one. Otherwise, or they'll call back again. The second two options, and I tell my clients this, or potential clients, will get you to an actual live human being. So option number two will get you to my assistant, Maria. She only works normal business hours. She doesn't know anything technical about the business. All she could do is take the orders. And if you don't want to do it online and you want to do it over the phone, then please press 2 and she'll do that. The third option brings the call to me. And I tell everybody they're going to go to voicemail. All right. I'm not going to schedule for them. I will answer technical questions. I will call them back. I really only want press inquiries and people interested in our home inspection training program that come to me. Otherwise, if this is business, click 1, get the information. And if you want to work with us, I want to work with you. And if you think someone else is a better value, then that's fine too. I don't tell them that part. That's fine. If we don't have to get all the jobs. All I have to do is keep the calendar filled. So the first thing that's in there, we focus right away on the why choose me, and we start off with the pain, aggravate, and solution. Now, this is a marketing thing. This is meant to spark a little bit of emotion, but we also want to reinforce what they're thinking already. Again, if we go back to the beginning, they don't trust the real estate agent's referral. That's why they're not taking it. They want to do this on their own. All right. We don't know the reason why, but usually it has to do with incompetence or people being dishonest. One of the two. All right. So I hit that. Some people don't want to upset real estate agents. Okay. There's the dishonesty. People rush it and they're not, I didn't say they're not experienced, but maybe I should have put that one in there too. I didn't want to go too hard. And that's why I only use 2 bullet items on there. All right. Next one, I'm going to give a short introduction about me. A lot of people feel that home inspectors are inexperienced and uneducated. So I'm trying to address that there. I focus who I am, the business that we do, but most importantly, when I started in the business, which was over 30 years ago. And that has a little bit of weight. I get it. Not everybody has that, but it still has a lot of weight when people are looking. Then I go back to the why choose us, and I want to get to the solution part now. All right. So we identified their pain. They already knew it. We aggravated it a little bit. And now we're getting to the solutions. So this here, realize that your competitors use a lot of these tools too. So if you're going to want somebody to choose you over the equipment, make sure you use more things than anyone else does. Do your research, find out what they use and how they do their inspections. Try to hire their services. People do it to me all the time, so do it to them. And bigger companies, I guarantee you they're hiring people to do secret shopper stuff. All right. And they're going to come out there and look at your business too. You might as well do the same thing. All right. Don't be afraid to, either get a VA or get, somebody, a from Fiverr or whatever to go ahead and start doing this stuff and gather that information. So technical tools on every inspection, we're going to be there with the thermal imager, moisture meter, drones. We do try to walk the roof. If we can't, we're going to fly it. We do use combustion analyzers on furnaces. It really does a lot to find out how the unit is operating, and it gives us a pretty good indicator if there's a hole in the heat exchanger. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody about that in the future if they want to. Then we come back to normal tools, flashlights, small tools, just to name a few. How do I tell somebody that we're thorough and we do a good job, and something that actually has a little bit of teeth? That's part of the reason why we only schedule one inspection a day. We just don't know how long it's going to take to do the inspection. Typically, we're on site for 3 hours. But we've had clients ask us a lot of questions about the home. And they kept us there talking about it for 4 or 5 hours. And you might be rolling your eyes. Oh, I don't want to be there for 4 or 5 hours. That's fine. Don't be there for 4 or 5 hours. All right. We will. And if that's the reason that we get the gig, then we get the gig. Same thing. If we go ahead and, if there's a house that has a whole bunch of stuff in it, it's going to take longer to document it. Well, we're going to stay and document it. It's that simple. And then you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, I got to go ahead and get my 2 inspections to get my daily income coming in here. That's valid. All right. That's where we try to focus on increasing our cost per inspection. All right. You can do 3 inspections for an average of $300 a day if you want to, or 2 inspections for an average of $450 a day, or 1 inspection for average of $900 a day. I'll let you in on a secret. They all add up to $900 a day. All right. So that's what you really should be focused on, is how much money is each inspector bringing in gross revenue on a daily basis. And that, as long as you could go ahead and get that same amount, whether you do 1 inspection or 3 inspections, and we're talking averages here. So there's times when it's going to be lower and times when it's going to be higher, but if we can maintain that, then that is, again, a why choose me and turns into a profitable business. Not only that, doing less inspections at a higher price reduces liability too. All right. The faster you go, the more you miss, the more times your errors and omissions insurance is going to probably need it. We haven't had a complaint. No, that's not true. We've had complaints. We haven't had a claim, I want to say, in over 5 years. All right. We've had people threaten them and, give us a little bit of posturing where it comes with it. And we have made mistakes, and I have paid for those mistakes that we made. But honestly, I think if we pay out 2, maybe 3 times a year, and we do over 1,500 inspections a year. So paying out 2, 3 times is, I don't really think it's all that bad. And I count that as the cost of doing business. All right. I give them links to our reports. Let them find that stuff easy. Let them be able to read it. I want to go back and focus on the reviews. I want to encourage our clients to read those reviews. I give them links to our Google businesses, and just going back to what I talked about with the Yelp one, do not give links to your Yelp site ever. All right. That screws up the algorithm, and Yelp starts to get suspicious, and they think that you're funneling leads or you're gatekeeping the leads. And that's something else you don't want to do either, is gatekeeping. And that is one of the problems with Blip and those other review companies. They think they're being smart by saying, hey, were you happy? Were you not happy? And if you were happy, we'll send you over to leave a public review. But if you're not happy, we'll send you this direction. So you don't leave a public review. That's gatekeeping. And that will get you punished by Google as well as Yelp. All right. Follow-up Zoom sessions. This is something that I do just so I could keep myself in the loop. I am going to start subcontracting all that out. We actually picked up about 4 gentlemen, and I need to get back on track with them so they could take over these Zoom sessions and free me up for other things. And then we do work with the warranty company as well. where I can go ahead and give a 60-day warranty. This isn't Recall Check or any of those other ones. This is a legitimate warranty company that actually does a very good job of paying out, and they value their reputations. I met them at a local networking event, and I got along with them, and I'm happy that we built up a good partnership with them. So we're pretty happy with that. Free resources. Again, this is me trying to gain trust with the clients, things that I do differently that I don't think other people do. And these are all lead magnets. All right. So we do have a community forum that we try to encourage home buyers, home sellers, even after you're a homeowner. We're funneling everybody into this thing. And that way, if they have a question about repairs, I'm in the loop. All right. If they need to hire a contractor, I'm in the loop. All right. The whole idea that when things go bad is when you get a client that reaches out to a contractor and then the contractor doesn't really give a damn about the client. All they want to do is sell them the repair. Then they're going to throw you under the bus and the repair is made and you have no proof. All right. Example of that. I had a client in Glenview, Illinois over here, bought a 4-year-old house, single mother of 4. They did not give her the remote controls for the garage door opener, and it was a front wall mount garage door opener. So she went to Menards or Home Depot, whatever, and she bought 2 of those visor, universal remotes. She didn't know what to do, so she called the garage door guy and asked him, "Hey, would you go ahead and program these things?" He said, "Yeah, sure, I'll come over to," and he did it for $100. Then he gets there and he said that he told her that this type of garage door opener, you can't use universals. You have to use the ones that came with it. And if you don't have those, the only other option we have is to replace the garage door opener. But lucky for you, they're on sale this week for $1,500. Total BS, right? She calls me up. She's angry, but she called me. All right, that's the key. I got the relationship strong enough that she called and yelled at me before she let the guy replace this stuff. I told her it's all BS. I'm out of town at a convention. I'm coming back Monday. If I can get over there, if you could wait till then, don't do anything, and I'll get it programmed. If I'm wrong, I'll take care of the bill, And again, I really believe in doing the right thing at the right time for the right reason, but I knew that I could program those garage door openers. All right. I wasn't going to be paying for someone else to put a door in. So I get there, and while I'm driving there, it turned out they lost power over the weekend. And when the power came back on, their water heater wasn't working. Now, this is a power vented water heater, so it needed power, right? Electricity. The plumber was still there. They told him that the water heater was installed wrong, and because of which, that's why it failed after 4 years of service, And they're going to have to replace it. And thank goodness that the water heaters are on sale this week for $5,500. So now she's $7,000 into this thing. Guess who got the phone call with a whole bunch of colorful metaphors? I did. I was driving there. She's yelling at me. I asked her, he says, "You know what? I'm 5 minutes away. Please just let me arrive. Let's sort it all out. I'm going to do the right thing. Let's just see what's happening first. Let me get there and figure it out." I get there. The plumber's there. He gives me the song and dance. I asked him if I could look at it. I follow the cord. It's plugged into a GFI outlet. I unplug it, hit the reset button, plug it back in, water heater fires up. Guy yells at me. Well, I knew the GFI was tripped, so I asked him the dumb question, "Well, why didn't you reset it?" And he goes, "I'm not allowed to reset those." And so let me get this straight. You're allowed to sell her a $5,500 water heater, that she doesn't need, but you can't press the reset button and help her with that. And it's like he just got caught in the line. There was nothing else he could do, and he was ready to charge and beat the crap out of me. All right. All I'm saying is there's bad people out there. All right. And the more we know and the more trust we have with our clients, the better off we're going to be. And that's part of what I do with everything with the Google and the Yelp is everything is about build the trust with the client and give them the biggest value so they leave the best reviews. Another thing we did was we took one of those artificial intelligent bots and we programmed them with all the code books, all of our training manuals, the Chicago Electric Code, the Chicago Building Code, the Illinois Plumbing Code. All right. All of our services, our business. So I don't want to answer phone calls at 2 o'clock in the morning. I go to bed early, but I'm giving somebody a way to get answers no matter what time it is or where they are or what I'm doing. If I can't respond right away, this thing gives answers and I'm able to see the answers and the questions that are asked. And I go ahead and adjust it. And the last one is just a little ebook on negotiating. Again, these are all lead magnets. That's all they are. And the idea is to give somebody something for free so that you can get their contact information. And then you start a nurturing campaign as long as you have the time. The drawback with Google local service ads and Yelp, you don't have the time. You got less than 1 day for them to decide that you're the go-to person to get an appointment and make all the arrangements. You got less than 24 hours. All right. But if we can get to the clients ahead of time, now we have a better chance to nurturing that trust. And that way, when they do get to the point where they're going to sign that agreement, then they're going to be ready to hire us because they already know us, they like us, they trust us. All right. And I mean, when I say you get all this, everything you're looking here, even though I'm showing on 4 different slides, I'm doing that because it's so much. I would have to make the print so small you couldn't read it. Right. So that's why I blew it up. This is all in one message. I want to get the whole thing sent to everybody. And I got it on a website. I got it on a text ability. I got it on an email ability and everything's formatted, but I keep it going the same way and it's all automated. And that's where the sales pitch from me to you is going to come up in a little bit. All right. So get them your prices, get them your process, get them a link to make an appointment so they could schedule, let them see the sample reports. Let them see everything that you have as long as you know you're better than everyone else. All right. So here comes the sales pitch. All right. And I'll keep it short and sweet. This system is pretty powerful. It's more than just automating responses to Google or Yelp. We actually use artificial intelligence so it responds to our reviews. All right. The faster you respond to those reviews, Google sees that as you being active, and it just makes you more powerful. When I have somebody calling from the Google and it goes through our phone tree answers. We get credit for answering it. And we're getting our information and our message the way we want it presented to that client so they could make a good choice and choose us. And that works 24/7. Really, you don't have to pay a person to do that for you. You could set it up for automation, and that's even in our cheapest plan. So I mean, you can hire somebody to answer your phones. I don't know what that even costs because I don't do it. But let's say it was a VA and you're paying them $10 an hour or $7 or whatever it is, that comes in there. I mean, you're looking at 40 hours a week. That's $400 a week. And I'm talking about $97 a month that you can go ahead and get this information to you. And it's more consistent, more information to your client, and everything's designed so they could choose you. All right. The autoresponders, again, you craft your message, you tweak your message, you move it all the time, focus everything on home inspection only. The goal is not to get more leads, but you want to get more quality leads and you want to get more clients. All right. So we want to get the people that are going to hire your complete service. That's who we're marketing to. Those are the people we want to give them enough options that say we're the best choice than anybody else on there. So this QR code that's up here is going to be on my calendar. And thank you for listening. I hope I didn't turn this into being salesy. You could do all this stuff without automation on your own. All you got to do is get prepared so you send the same message over and over again. When it comes to the Google ads, when somebody, if they do get hold of me and they are talking to me on the phone, one of the first things I try to do is ask them if I could text them this information because I want to get it to them in writing. I haven't had anybody say, well, that's not true. I could think of probably 2 times I had people say they couldn't do it. And they were usually elderly people in their 80s or whatever. And they just don't text. All right, fair enough. They got a landline phone. Sometimes we got to work around those items. And if that's the case, then that's the case. But they're still on the internet. All the they're still reading all the reviews. And if I can get them to the website where I have my text that I wanted to send them, if I have that all written out so they could view and read all the options that we have there, do it. It's not going to be a problem. What I want to do is I made this sync system here to cover all the automation of every different aspect. There's 20 of these classes that we're going to be putting on. Everything from answering the phone, auto text backs, social media planning, nurturing real estate agents. There's a lot of stuff that we can automate. All right. I mean, it's getting where everything is repetitive. You should be able to see that yourself. And as long as you see you doing the same thing over and over again, well, then you can create a system that will do it for you and you don't have to do it over and over again. That's what this is. This is one big conglomerate underneath one roof. All right. So you don't have to have a separate phone. You don't have to have a separate responder. You don't have to have a separate calendar. We can even set it up to schedule your home inspection appointments if you don't want to use the ISN or the other ones, Keystone, and I forgot the other ones that are on there. They get expensive in their own way. All right. But that's all part of the automation. And everything is going to be customized to you. You're going to end up being different. And as long as you keep everything simple, I think you're going to find that more people want to come and work for you. So thank you. Thank you for listening to me when it comes to this home inspection stuff here. I truly appreciate you. And I hope you click on that QR code and set up a meeting, and I'll give you a full tour of the entire system. Thank you again.